First is to say thank you so much for coming. I know how busy we are. I was a student. And also I know how busy American life is. And you found time to come. So thank you so much. And also to thank those who organized for me to be here. Gary and the rest and Bobby, that was very nice you organized, and everyone, thank you so much for that. I'm going to share a bit of my life and what we had tried to do, because I learned a lot when I was a student. And out of that, I took that back to where I grew up, and we are trying to do things. There are small things we are trying to do, and I'm going to share that. And you see how it relates with your classes and your day-to-day life. And also see how it relates mostly to what happens to the rest of the world and what you are likely, especially for the students, what you are likely to get involved in later. I came up with a topic called community regeneration through permaculture and Maiuni case. Maiuni community is where I come from. It's where I grew up. I'll give you a background about that. So as I talk, as we discuss, and as I go through the slides, see whether there is it answers that question, that topic. What we are doing, is it really regenerating the community or degenerating the community or generating the community? It's up to you to see that, and that is your homework, to see whether it will connect to that. So, a bit of background, I grew up in a place called Maiuni community, and when I went back, I built that house because it's a remembrance of my life when I was growing up. We grew up eight siblings, 4 boys, 4 girls, and that is the kind of house we slept, the 4 boys. We had 2 beds inside in that, and by then it was the elastic bed. I don't know whether you guys have experienced that. The ones you go up and down because it's not the timber, it's plastic. And there were we were surrounded by a very deep forest, and we only farmed a bit of what we are now farming, and there were wild animals by then. So I remember one of the goats was eaten by a hyena when I was a small boy. So my mom told us to put all the goats inside the house at night. So that's how we slept there, and it's a remembrance to me. And also it was grass thatched, but when I went home, we put the iron sheet, so that by then you can imagine the goats are inside, and you have 4 boys there, and the goats are funny. Those who are in animals, they like to climb on iron grounds, so they could climb on the bed. They could pee. Then at night, as you go to sleep, it's kind of messed up. But when you're growing up, it's so that's how I grew up. And then be 8 siblings, and my father kind of ran away when I was small boy, and he came back when I was after high school, I was 18. So my mom struggled to bring us up, and we had to help in many ways, and we did not have opportunity to go to school. So one of the things we were doing is really charcoal burning. We were cutting down trees to burn charcoal to sell for income generating. And also that's at home. You'll see this hill. It's not really the village. It's near our place. Those who are coming to Kenya. That is the kind of deforestation, because I used to fish in this land. I mean, not to really feel, but we used to hunt. When I was growing up, we used to hunt because the forest was so thick, and we started cutting down trees, and you see one part of our land was this kind of deforestation. You see a few trees remaining here and there. So I started seeing the crops decreasing. Because of erosion, you get less crops, more than you had previous year, and that continued. We also did not have the rivers. We used to have a river like shore that river now became seasonal. It used to be permanent. When I was a small boy, we used to swim in that river, so I know how to swim. So without rivers to swim, without forests to hunt, and with crops decreasing, and also no more fishy. You are talking of now a fishy cycle because the crops decrease, they cut down the trees to burn more charcoal to compensate for the loss of the other benefits they were getting, like hunting and all that. So that really caused a fishy cycle. And when I was growing up and coming to US, I realized that there are issues here. Because that is the river we used to that is called Wahani, and Gary came and he saw that. That is a river bed without water, but it used to be water throughout. Amount of water you can swim, because we swam throughout the year. And now, after some time, when it rains, you have to go dig the sand to get water. And that's how people are living that way. I did this, I carried that jerrycan. It's 20-liter jerrycans, and you do that like many times. And for your information, it is tied. So when you carry it by the back, then you have the strip. That's how my head is not so straight. Because my mom used to tell me that he used to when you're a small boy, you start carrying, and you know your head is still soft, so it pushes that. And then you ask yourself, like, this is my niece. You ask yourself, how then you can imagine you were swimming, you are hunting, there were forests, and now my kids and the kids of my brothers and the kids of my neighbors, they will not get that opportunity. So that is the resources, and they're big. So what I want to say is, like, now people also ask, how did you come to US then, and you graduated, and how did you end up in the US from that background? You don't come from that background to US unless your path is well defined by some forces you can't tell. Because what happened in my high school, my mom could not afford us to go to high school. So fortunately, a very good person, the head teacher of the school, decided to fill for me forms for scholarships. So I got scholarships from Save the Children Fund. That's how I went to high school. Then after high school, I went to university, and I started working in an organization called Kenya Institute of Organic Farming. And that way, professors from here university, they had a project in our place, and they visited the institute I was working. And this is where someone's life is their own life. You try to work for your destiny, but the destiny kind of is almost defined. You work towards it, but because if these people were supposed, Professor Mai Philip and Victor, they were supposed to come to get to the institute on a Friday, and quickly USA said, no, we need to see you so fast, come on Friday, and that way they postponed coming on Friday. So I was on duty on Saturday, and that's when they got the chance to visit. So if they came on a Friday, that chance could have been lost because they found me at that time. They came on a Saturday because then Friday my boss couldn't be there. If they came on a Friday, you know when visitors, important people come and you are not the boss, you get a chance to see them. So they came on a Friday and that's how I got, and we worked, they came back, I worked with them for 1 year, I did very well, and they gave me granted assistantship to come to UW-SB. That's how I came. I was with I came 2006 and I finished 2008. I had issues here and there, tried to catch up with your English. You know, I was talking a lot of mother tongue at home. So the first 1 month, 2 months was quite something. But I became the best graduate student by then. I think I was the best graduate student of the year, international student. So I tried to catch up quickly. But you can imagine now I had to run up and down. So that happened, and then when I finished, I was related the issues, and now this is where, what are we doing now? We were related the issues of the forest and all that. So when I went back, the people expected a lot because you're from US and they think you have solutions. So I went and called them and said, let's discuss. And with all the education, I could relate issues. Now I could relate the river as issues and employment as issues because of all this. So we sat together. We started with 27 people. This picture is after we met several one day. So we discussed and we found which there are many issues: unemployment, trade, deforestation, all that. So with all my knowledge, I said for sure, how do we approach all these issues? And I had learned, and I was involved with sustainability. So any concept I learned or principles, I was like, can it apply? And I said, let I use this approach in the community as project. What we are trying to do, let's make sure it takes care of the environment. We work with the nature more than working against it, and that's the permaculture concept. We also have the economics and we also have the social aspect. And I know most students must have come across it. It's a stool. So if one leg of goose is shorter, then the stool is not balanced. So you have that. So I had to, my approach to what we are doing, we are to balance the economic, the social aspect, and the environment to make sure then the village is moving towards sustainability and being regenerated. So we started with the 27. This is the current project we have. We started by planting trees. And the planting trees was to plant as many different tree species as possible. This is as many as 30 different tree species. And the idea is we planted local ones. When we plant in the area, they are local trees. They will regenerate the environment. And when we start to get the products from the trees we are planting, then that way the economics aspect comes. Like now, these are passion fruit, these are pawpaws, we have senas, this is nice for timber, we have fodder crops, fodder trees and all that. And the beauty part of it is when it was a small nursery, this is a current nursery, we are planting as many as 50,000 to 60,000 seedlings per year to give to 450 farmers. Out of the 27, we have grown now to 27 to 450 farmers, and the nursery propagated as many as 50,000 to 60,000 every rain season. We have been doing this for the last 8 years. So what happens, and this is nice to know, how are we regenerating the community? Out of the 13 different tree species, each farmer is given almost equally. You get 3 avocado, 3 pawpaw, papaya, 3 timber tree like terminarium brownie, and everybody gets that. And the idea behind it is if we start processing mangoes, then everybody hears mangoes. If we want to harvest timber, everybody has at least something to harvest. And that way you spread the income, the opportunities, and also when you plant, you have this bigger impact. Because what happened is we started home, and then it spreads like that. So if you plant, I plant, the whole community is planted. And that way we expect the water to come back, the springs to come back, because when it rains, it's not one person reforesting. Because we could have said, Nicola, you have money, let I plant the trees, but now it's everybody planting. The other thing to note here is the farmers pay 3 shillings for this seedling. That's important. 3 shillings is like 3 cents, I think. One, and you can pay by coming to work to pot the pot, to do all that. The idea is for them to own it, so that when the trees are doing good and they are happy about it, they are not happy for Nicholas. They are happy for themselves because they are trees and they paid for it and they work for it. That's another concept you need to look at, because it creates ownership and everybody feels his contribution. If you get free, then even if they do well, it's like Nicholas's tree, they are doing well. And they feel good for me. So that is important, we do that. That's what we are doing. And this is one of the farmers. They pack them, they carry, and we help them how to plant. We have extension work, try to organize how many holes you have dug, how do you need. We do them in dry season when there's not a lot of work. And that way, then, when you are coming for the seedlings to go plant, you have already dug the holes. And we don't water this, because it's in dry land. We plant local trees which can grow naturally. Because if you tell them to water them and there's a lot of, they don't have even enough water for drinking, then you are adding more into that. We are working with almost 60 schools. As the children plant at home, in school, they also go home and find the parents are planting. And that way everybody is involved. And that way the community is regenerating. I also train them most of my time because I like trees. I travel and let's say my thesis was on dryland tree species, and I'm now writing my PhD and it's also in dryland. So I have a lot of interest on trees. So I call them, they come, we go around and discuss issues and they connect with them. So this is the current. In fact, these 2 weeks before I came, I have my what happened? I don't know. So it's a current one. It's not long. This one I took just, I think, a week before I came. So this is one of the schools. I also take the parents to, those who are planning to, I take them on a field training. So some people ask, how quick are the trees growing? The trees now are very big. This one was 203, 209, and the same trees is 2013. That's how quickly the trees are growing. Because we are along the equator. It's in dry land, but the trees grow faster. What is interesting, and I've started realizing, this tree when it's 2013 is $2. 2014 is $4. 2015 is $5. So that family, somehow, they are becoming richer and they are keeping their wealth on the land. That's a huge part of it. Analysis we do that. Because now he has 10 of those trees which we can harvest for timber, and everybody brings together and you can sell. Because we gave the same to everybody. So if you have this is a eucalyptus. We call Eucalyptus camandulensis. It's a dry land. So if you have 10, I have 10, and everybody has 10, together we have enough to sell even to Uganda, to another country. So That is the environmental aspect. I also need the same. I see what I also need the same. I had to show the way, walk the way, be part of that. So this is my woodlot. I had to plant with the first 27 of them. I had also to do it because that way you quickly connect with them. Because as one of them, you also have to show. Because most farmers and those who are coming, most the students, will find grown-ups like to learn by seeing. When you are mature, you want to walk and see and learn, not sitting down to. So that way I had to start this so that when we are training them, they also come quickly. And if someone can tell me time. Okay, so I have 10 minutes.
Yeah, we just have to be out of here by 6.
Okay.
So I thought we could have some time.
Okay, good. So as they planted the trees and then now we started pruning these trees, it's very interesting. They have already got enough for firewood. So where do they take extra? We said, wait a minute, let's start green charcoal production. So these farmers, we started this year, they are bringing their firewood. It's not cutting the trees, they just prune the trees and we weigh them, we pay them, and then we burn green charcoal. We call it green because it's only from the branches. We used to cut down the tree. So we buy, we add margin, and we sell. That way you are sustaining the organization. At the same time, the farmers are getting money now from what they have started. That is the first step now we are realizing. And how we are doing it is, I told you my thesis was also fuel wood production. So I learned about charcoal and all that. And this is a common thing in Kenya. They are trying to do this. I mean, the government was trying to promote this. So you lit fire there, and once it's hot inside, the gases also start to burn. And that way they complete the carbonization inside. And in that process, you can have the small twins, which they never knew how to make charcoal, because 80% of the country uses charcoal for. So there's a big market. It's a huge economy business. And the government are keen if you can show you can sustainably produce it. So we are now showing that, and you'll see these guys who are coming. You'll see we'll fire for you when you are there. So this way now the charcoal we are selling, they are making money. The organization is adding money. So that is the sustainability aspect. And there is, you see, like now after that, it's very efficient. You are getting almost 60%. I mean, it's very efficient because mostly the normal way we used to do is to add everything and you light and you don't recycle the gases. When you recycle, you get more efficiency. We still have this big one for bigger logs. That's another one. The government also helped us to put that because sometimes I find when they prune their bigger logs, that one you don't want to put in the drum. But this is another efficient way of doing that. And that way now, like the two ladies you saw, one went with like $14. Just from nothing, you are now making something, and that's only through the prunings. You are yet to harvest the timber and all that. So we have also started finding moringa is a big one. We have started processing the moringa. Is one of the trees we have given. They bring the leaves, we pay, we make powder, and we sell that. That way they make money. The organization also is sustained. We also have greenhouses for that. The greenhouses is for income generated to sell tomato cheaply to the local and also to generate money for the people who are working there. Another important aspect, remember the stool, is bringing the community together. So they contribute something small, like $1.5. They buy a lot of food. We eat goats there. So they buy goats. We have like the chapatis, a lot of meat, some sodas and all that. They eat together and they dance together. That way, it's the only way now we are trying to see how can we strengthen the social aspect of that lake so that there's two imbalance. And we are finding, yes, you provide this opportunity. I think the professor also visited and they enjoyed. Those who come, you can dance with them and all that. That way, then the community is really becoming together and then working together and strengthening the sense of community and all that. That is important for anything you want because you also want them to sell trees together, moringa, and then other product which is coming from what they are doing and also plant it comes to that. So that's the social aspect we are doing. They come, they sing, they dance. You see, they are themselves who cook, and when they cook for you, that is when they like to. The tribe is known for dancing. And what is interesting, when you provide these fora, then everyone has something to contribute. This lady was very quiet, you might have seen, but now she is our soloist. And she feels good. She feels she is contributing also. She sings. So that is another things evolving, we don't know. Then we are doing also the systems. You saw the river and my friends are giving $1,200 for assistance to go and get this is 10,000 liters. We harvested we are putting roof gutters in the roofs. So when it rains, the water gets into the system and you have enough water for the whole, throughout the year because we have 2 rain seasons. You use the first one, the second rain also fills and you have enough water for that. And I must say this is one of the projects which I have got a lot of support and the people continue to support because you spend $1,200 to bring all that system to the community from the city, and once you get it, let's say those with the best wool somehow they are paid for it because yours is as good as ours. So our names are written in papers, they are put in a basket and a small child picks. So if it is you picked, it's fair. That way you can't complain, Nicholas gave the relative and all that. So we have to be wise to create a democratic process where everybody has equal chance to also get, because you once get 1 system or 2 per year and then now you also give out that. So also to strengthen the community, they all come to install the system. That's very important. Because if you are given and you are told, there you are, you're on your own, then you start feeling it's mine. But when all of them come and you see how they are strong, in fact, this is my brother. He's quite stronger than me. So when the whole community come and they help, then it's not your system per se, but it's a community system. So the few have got, they share the water with the rest, hoping the others will also get. That is how we also build the community. And I find when people eat together, they dance together, and they work together, they stay together. I find it funny that because now they know each other so much, and they are really together because when time they work like that, they eat together, they dance, it builds a community so much, so strong, more than I imagined. So that is Gary Kem, he is a guy in the ministry. A lot of people are visited. If you are not visited, you might want to visit. This woman benefited the lady and the son, and when people come because they donate, I get most Americans, and that's why I came and I'm talking to people about it, what we are doing, and some will get involved whichever way. Then we have an office. Someone gave us money to build an office in a small piece of land. So the staff now have a place to work, and the community have a place to come and do what they want. It's a community center for the community. We have also put up we have built a local housing. We are starting this, because now we are getting visitors coming. They want to get involved. Where do they sleep also? Some sleep with the farmers, but we still have a site to sleep, where you can sleep and get involved. And we want also this to be income generating. Yes, people come, they can pay something small, they get involved in the community, and that way sustains the staff and the other projects we are carrying on. So there are many ways you can be involved. There's water harvesting project, there's the tree planting, there we also do scholarship because I'm about to retire. So who is taking up when I retire and then carry on this? Because the education system is a whole thing in Kenya, unless you are well up, it's not easy to get the co housing and all that. Those are the areas you can get involved, and then